Barbecue spaghetti is a Memphis staple. I had the chance to try it in Memphis last year when I was competing in Memphis in May, and to be honest, I didn't really like it that much. So I thought, how can I make it better so that I'll actually like it? I'm gonna test 3 different ways in this video, so let's get smoking. Welcome to the Smoke Lab. My name is Steve Gao, and on this show I do crazy barbecue experiments you would never do at home so you can learn from my trial and error. Barbecue spaghetti, it's a Memphis thing, and it's very polarizing. Some people love it and some people hate it. I think the main reason a lot of people don't like it is the flavors of barbecue sauce and spaghetti sauce just don't mesh very well. You're also coupling spaghetti, which has a kind of soft and slimy texture, with pulled pork, which also has kind of a soft and slimy texture, so there's not much textural difference. In other words, there's no crunch or bite to offset that softness. So I decided to test 3 categories of recipes in this video. I did a traditional red sauce, one with pulled pork and one with grilled pork, a green sauce with brisket and either chimichurri or pesto, and a white sauce with barbecued chicken and either Alabama white sauce or Alfredo sauce to see which one was better. For the first recipe, I did a traditional Memphis-style barbecue spaghetti. I started by smoking a pork butt on my Oklahoma Joe's Marshall Centerbox smoker. I pulled it, then I made some spaghetti by boiling water and adding the spaghetti and some salt and boiling it until it was tender. Meanwhile, I heated up some store-bought pasta sauce on the stove and added a little bit of Blues Hog original barbecue sauce. I heated and mixed the sauce together and then set it aside. After that, I plated the spaghetti, the pulled pork, and the sauce. It was pretty good, but there just wasn't much textural difference, like I said before, and the barbecue sauce and pasta just didn't really jive in my opinion. The second recipe I tried was a twist on the traditional one. I was smoking a pork butt on my Marshall Centerbox smoker, and I decided to cut off a piece and grill it up to around 165 so it was super crispy. Then I sliced it into chunks and I set the chunks aside, and then I plated the pasta, the sauce, and the chopped pork. It was really good. And when I tasted it, I liked it a lot. There was a traditional spaghetti and sauce flavor with a hint of barbecue sauce, and that crunchiness and fattiness of the pork really fixed my main gripe with the traditional barbecue spaghetti. The problem was with just that little amount of barbecue sauce added to the pasta sauce, the flavors just didn't mix very well, and I didn't like the flavor profile, so I think there's something just fundamentally at issue with adding tomato sauce to barbecue sauce and trying to meld those flavors together. It doesn't really work for my palate personally. So I think what I'd do if I was making traditional barbecue spaghetti is I'd just use straight pasta sauce and I wouldn't add any barbecue sauce. That's just my opinion though, you do you. For the second category of recipe, I thought, how can I use some leftover brisket that I always have in my fridge or freezer at any given time? And it got me thinking about how steak and tri-tip and really any kind of beef pairs really well with something acidic and herbal and oily like chimichurri sauce. That flavor profile is a proven winner, so I thought, maybe we can mix the brisket with some chimichurri sauce and the spaghetti, and that would probably be a very good flavor pairing. So I took some leftover brisket point that I had previously smoked on my Oklahoma Joe's Longhorn offset smoker. I plated it with the spaghetti and the chimichurri sauce, recipe in the description section below, by the way. It was really good, and I could eat it all day, but it might be a little bit too acidic for like my wife and kids. I think barbecue dudes like me would love the flavor profile, but if they were feeding it to their family, I think the kids might be, that's a little bit too sour, or I just don't like that. So I don't know if it would appeal to the broadest array of palates, but for a barbecue dude, I think it's really good, and I actually really enjoyed it. So to attempt to remedy that issue, I plated another dish, but this time with just store-bought pesto sauce, and it was also really good while having a nice balanced flavor where everything just melded together perfectly. I think this is what I'd serve my wife and kids, and I think they'd really love it. For the next sauce, I wanted to do a white sauce with smoked and grilled chicken, so I grilled some chicken on my Marshall while I had the pork butt going on the other side. The Marshall is super versatile this way. I could have the pork butt slow smoking on one side because there's the indirect center box at the bottom that is producing all that smoke, and then I just put some charcoals on the other side with the grill that's below the grates, and I can also grill some chicken at the same time. So really loving the Marshall so far. It's really versatile. Then I chopped up the chicken, I plated it with some spaghetti, some store-bought Alfredo sauce, and some roasted tomatoes, and also some parsley. This was really, really good. My favorite so far, and it was a little bit weak on barbecue flavor because the chicken was just kind of seared quickly. But maybe if I tried smoked chicken thighs, which take a bit longer and take on a little bit more smoke flavor, that would have added more of that barbecue and smoke flavor to the dish. And maybe also if I smoked the cherry tomatoes until they were tender instead of putting them in the oven, that would have added some more barbecue flavor as well. But overall, this was probably my favorite out of all the recipes I tried in this video, and I think it would appeal to the broadest array of different palates, including my family. Lastly, I plated a dish the exact same way, but this time with Alabama white sauce, recipe also in the description section below. I thought this would be good, but the flavors just didn't really work that well. I don't really know why. Alabama white sauce is really good on smoked chicken when it's fresh off the smoker and you dip it in Alabama white sauce. It's absolutely amazing, but for some reason with spaghetti, it just didn't work for me. So what was the best barbecue spaghetti recipe I tried in this video? Well, probably the Alfredo recipe, to be honest. I think that my family would like that the most. It would appeal to the broadest range of palates. My second favorite was the brisket and pesto, and my third favorite, which is kind of unique, I don't think it would appeal to everybody, but I really liked it, was the brisket and the chimichurri sauce with the pasta. It was really good, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I didn't really like the traditional Memphis style barbecue spaghetti. I liked the barbecue spaghetti that had the red sauce and the grilled and chopped pork a lot better than the pulled pork because it was a little bit more crunchy. It had some textural difference. But that barbecue sauce plus the tomato sauce just doesn't mesh very well in terms of a flavor profile. So I think if I was doing it again, I would probably do the grilled and chopped pork, and I would do just straight pasta sauce with no barbecue sauce added, and I think that would be really good. Maybe shred some Parmesan cheese on there. Just make it a little bit more of a traditional spaghetti dish with that little hint of barbecue and the textural difference with the grilled pork. That would probably be the way I'd go if I was doing a barbecued spaghetti with a red sauce. Have any ideas for future Smoke Lab videos? Let me know in the comments section below, and until next time, happy smoking.